She never fought back, never said a word. They called her names, laughed at her thrift store clothes. Then one day, they threw ink on her face in front of the entire college, thinking she was just some powerless poor girl. But they didn't know the campus they ruled. She owned it. If you crave justice, unexpected revenge, and jaw-dropping twists, hit that subscribe button right now. Because this story, this quiet girl, she's about to burn their world to the ground. Asterisk, asterisk, it was supposed to be just another Tuesday. Classes, coffee, quiet reading corners. But for Amelia Wright, that day would become the most humiliating and ultimately the most powerful day of her life. She was the girl no one noticed. Pale beige hoodie, worn-out jeans. She walked like she didn't want to be seen. Books clutched tightly, hair pulled into a low, forgettable bun. In the noisy, clique-driven chaos of Riverside Elite College, she didn't belong, or so they thought. To the popular crowd, she was invisible. To the professors, she was a quiet A+ student. To the bullies, she was prey. And among them stood Katrina Bellamy, social media star, queen of the courtyard, and meaner than a pack of wolves in heels. Katrina had everything: daddy's money, designer bags, and a cruel eye for weakness. Her favorite game? Picking someone who couldn't fight back. And Amelia, quiet as the wind, looked like the perfect target. So when Katrina spotted Amelia standing alone near the fountain, nose deep in her history book, her plan took form like poison behind a plastic smile. She nodded to her friends Zoe and Brittany, and said 3 words that sealed Amelia's fate. Let's ink her. No reason, no warning, just cruelty in action. The girls sauntered over with mock concern. A.W., what's little library mouse reading today? Katrina giggled. Before Amelia could respond, Katrina yanked the book from her hand. Zoe laughed. Brittany opened her phone camera, and in one horrifying second, Katrina pulled a fat black ink bottle from her tote and flung it directly into Amelia's face. Splash! It hit like fire, ink dripping down her forehead, into her eyes. Her white shirt soaked in black. Gasps erupted all around the courtyard. Laughter, whispers, phones raised. Snap, record, upload, oops. Katrina smirked. Sorry, didn't see you there. Maybe you'll wash that peasant shirt for once. Amelia didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just stood there, frozen, soaked, ashamed, silent. But something deep in her eyes shifted, something cold, ancient, powerful. Katrina didn't notice. No one did. Not yet. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Amelia ran. Not home, not to the dean's office, but to the back of the campus, a forgotten alleyway behind the old architecture building where her father once stood. Because her father, Richard Wright, wasn't just anyone. Years ago, he was the co-founder of Riverside Elite, a brilliant, ruthless man who built an empire and quietly left it to his only daughter before dying of cancer. Amelia didn't want power. She hated attention. So she asked the board of trustees to keep her identity hidden. She wanted to study, not rule. But now, that silence had been shattered by ink and laughter, and the game had changed. As the video of her humiliation spread across campus like wildfire, Amelia sat in her father's old office untouched for years, and opened a drawer. Inside, the original deed, a sealed letter from the board, and a legal agreement. She could take control of the campus operations any time she wished. With one signature, her hand trembled. Not from fear, but fury. By morning, the bullies' laughter had turned to gossip. Did you see the video? That poor girl looked like a ghost. Someone should do something. But no one did. Katrina strutted through the halls like royalty, until the announcements started. First, a new policy. All acts of on-campus harassment would now result in immediate disciplinary hearings, overseen by an unnamed board member. Then came the security checks. The anonymous emails sent to students, encouraging them to report. Bullies one by one, quiet voices began to speak up. Stories surfaced, evidence collected, and behind it all, Amelia pulled strings from the shadows, her identity still hidden, but her hand undeniable. Within days, several of Katrina's past victims came forward, students who had been mocked, targeted, silenced. Amelia made sure each of them had protection, legal support, and the spotlight. The tide was turning. Then came the fundraiser gala, Katrina's favorite event. Cameras, donors, the who's who of Riverside elite. She arrived in a silver dress and smug smile until she saw the event banner, hosted by Amelia Wright. Her jaw dropped. She whispered to Brittany, "That can't be the same, Amelia. She's a nobody." But as the spotlight hit the stage, there she stood, Amelia, in a sleek black gown, hair down. Composed, ink-stained photos from that terrible day now on the screen behind her. Many of you laughed, she said into the microphone. But what you didn't know is I built this college with my father, and I'm done watching it rot from the inside out. Gasps. Cameras clicked. Katrina turned pale. Starting today, Amelia continued, we're launching an anti-bullying initiative, and I will personally ensure that the days of cruelty being covered up are over. The room erupted in applause, except for Katrina and her clique, who slipped out the back like shadows. But it was too late. Their names were already on the next day's hearing list. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. The storm came fast. Katrina tried to fight it, claimed the video was just a joke, that everyone does this kind of thing. But her past victims, now united, told another story. Under Amelia's leadership, a full investigation began. Witnesses came forward. Professors shared emails, screenshots, videos. Even Katrina's ex-boyfriend testified when the college's private legal board revealed the volume of complaints. The dean had no choice. Katrina Bellamy and her inner circle were suspended indefinitely. Amelia didn't smile when she heard. She simply looked out her father's old window and whispered, "We're not done yet." Over the next few months, she transformed the campus, launched scholarship programs for bullied students, hired mental health counselors, created anonymous reporting systems. Quiet kids found their voices. Bullies lost their grip. But perhaps the biggest twist came during the annual board announcement, when the chairman stepped down and introduced his successor, your new acting board leader, Miss Amelia Wright. This time, Amelia walked into the courtyard, not with books clutched in fear, but with confidence. Heads turned. Whispers changed. She was no longer invisible. She was the name on every wall, the owner of every inch. And when Katrina tried to sneak back into school months later with a forged apology letter, she was met by security and a letter personally signed by Amelia. This campus protects the quiet now. You're not welcome here. That day, as Amelia sat in the courtyard, the same place where ink had once stained her face, a first-year student approached shyly. You're Amelia, right? Amelia smiled. Yes, they said. You're the one who made the bullies disappear. She looked at the girl, small, shy, books clutched tight, just like she once was. Not disappear, Amelia said. I made them irrelevant. And with that, the girl sat beside her, safe, the cycle broken. And Amelia, the quiet girl, once drowned in ink, had risen not just to fight back, but to own everything they thought they ruled.